everyone, so this is the first of 4 video reviews for this week, and this one is for the Lay Reviewer May book club read, which was Heart Block by Melissa Brayden. For any of you that didn't see the introduction video, this is what the book looks like, and like I say, this is the video review. If you'd like to check out my Goodreads review, I have just posted it, so if you're on Facebook, it is there is a link below all the other videos, or if you're on YouTube, there is a link in the description below. And this is the video review. So Melissa Brayden's Heart Block was the first time I've read a book by Melissa Brayden, and like I say, it was part of Lay Reviewer's May book club, so it was chosen by everyone as what we would read, and I couldn't wait to see what all the fuss was about with Melissa Brayden books, because again, I've had so many people recommend them to me and so many people tell me how wonderful they are, that I couldn't wait to just experience this. So this was an absolutely beautiful story. Had a touch of heartache thrown in, pinch of drama, and a lot of it was just really, really cute romance. In fact, it was a perfect mix. The balance of the book was just right to keep you really invested as a reader in the characters and their journey and everything that they had going on. It was amazing. So I felt very emotional reading it, and because I read it over, well, I've been reading it throughout the month, it's difficult when I have to keep sort of making it last, because it was one of those books that I really wanted to just sit down and really read, but I had so much else going on as well, that I had to take it a bit at a time. Obviously, because it was May book club, I had to take a bit of a time anyway, because I needed to be enjoying every moment of it. It was really beautiful. I'm completely overwhelmed with just how beautiful a story it was. It was easy to engage and sympathise and empathise with the characters in this book, and so for me, the dynamic between Sarah and Emery, because they're from very different backgrounds, that was an interesting take on the dynamic, because there were moments where I was really worried that it perhaps might not work out between them, just because they were from such different backgrounds, and it was really explored really well. Melissa did a really good job of exploring that, and the character's own sort of inner turmoil with having to deal with that as well. So Sarah's employed by Emery to help her clearing her late mother's house, and they sort of strike up this really unlikely friendship, because she's just really taken with the way Sarah does things and how wonderful her work is, and it slowly develops into a bit more of a romantic interest, because Sarah's got her little girl, her daughter Grace, and it's difficult for Sarah because she's never had these feelings before towards a woman, so she's all very much having to explore everything, but she's got to bear in mind that she's got to take into consideration Grace and arrangements for Grace, and how this relationship might affect Grace as well. So it's really complex in that sort of sense, and they have a lot of self-exploration, both of them, both Sarah and Emery, in sort of having developed this romantic interest in each other, because it changes their perspectives on life and how they should be sort of dealing with things. I think it was Emery that really had the most self-exploration in this book. She had a lot to learn. She was my favourite because she had Ice Queen tendencies, but she wasn't an Ice Queen. I don't think she was anyway, but she definitely had those tendencies, and she was definitely hinting at it with traits of her personality. And then Sarah and her daughter were just so infectious. That balance between the two characters worked perfectly, and I just couldn't help but become endeared by like all 3 of them in the end. And even Walter, you know, just stole the show at points. It's just, I love that when that happens, when you get unexpected characters and they steal the whole show from the main 2 characters, because it gives you an extra level and depth to the book as well, which is really great. And I love that Emery had sort of a sarcastic humour as well. That was really good. She kind of knew she was doing it, but kind of didn't as well, which I also liked. That's why I say she had these Ice Queen traits, but she wasn't quite your typical Ice Queen. So it was really refreshing and something a little bit different. And as for Grace, she's just the sweetest kid. She was really cute and endearing as well, and you will love her so much. But I highly recommend this book. It was so good. Like I say, it was so heartfelt, but it was so filled with drama, and there were moments where I was like on the edge of my seat wondering what was going to happen next, and was everything going to work out, and were things really as bad as they seemed? And there were just these then really cute moments to balance that, like just really romantic. I can't tell you any of them because they're complete spoilers, but you know what I mean. You get to that point in a book where you've had all the nail-biting drama and you sat on the edge of your seat wondering, and then you just have this, what can we call it, like a reprieve, I guess. It's just a light-hearted moment that just refreshes everything and really just brings everything back together and grounds them, but it's funny, and it's really just shows how real those characters are. It gives it a really realistic edge. So it was really difficult for me to put this book down. Like I say, I was really struggling having to make it last a month, but I did, and I could imagine every single moment of it. It was so brilliantly written, from the wonderful details and the vivid explanations that Melissa gave in this book. It was perfect just to read and really feel immersed in the story. I really, really, really enjoyed it. So I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of the book. If you've read Heart Block by Melissa Brayden, please let me know what you thought of it, or come along to the book club discussion on the 31st of May and discuss it with everyone who's reading it for book club. If you haven't read it or it's on your to read list, again, I'd really, really love to know your thoughts on it, and you know, whether you're going to read it or whether, you know, what interests you about it. It would be really cool to know. And if you do read it, I really, really hope you enjoy it. Bye.